Hi, fourth graders. I am excited to see that you have made it to level 3. Make sure that you have your how much will I need level 3 questions and also a pencil to write with. If you're scanning this code, it means you're looking for some tips on level 3. Keep in mind that you can fast forward and rewind to whichever question you are needing the tip on. I will start with number 1. Let's take a look. Matt was trying to figure out how many cups of food he needed to leave out for his dog when his family went on a 3-week vacation. Matt knew that his dog ate 1.5 cups of food in 3 days. How much food should Matt leave out for his dog? Okay, so I see quite a bit of important information in this problem. I see that the vacation is a 3-week vacation. And I also see that the dog eats 1.5 cups of food in 3 days. And my question is asking me, how much food does the dog need? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how many days the family's going to be gone. So 3 weeks times 7 days in a week would mean that the family's going to be gone for 21 days. Now, I also know that every 3 days the dog eats 1.5 cups food. So if I take my 21 days that the family's going to be gone and divide it by 3, I get 7. So that means the dog is going to go through 7 1.5 cup feedings. See if you can use that information to help you finish the problem. Moving on to number 2. Steve can paint a fence in 4 hours. Nick also takes 4 hours to paint the fence. If they work together, how long will it take them to paint half a fence? Ooh, sounds tricky. Let's look at our important information. Steve can paint a fence in 4 hours. So Steve, 4 hours. Nick also takes 4 hours to paint an entire fence. Our question is asking, how long will it take them to paint half a fence if they are working together? I see Einstein with an important tip, and we know by now that we need to pay attention to his tips. He's giving us a hint. He says, what fraction of the fence will Steve paint in 1 hour? Ooh, well, let's solve Einstein's hint. So in 1 hour, if it takes him 4 hours to paint a whole fence, in 1 hour he would paint 1/4 of a fence. So that's Steve. Now Nick paints at the same rate. He also takes 4 hours to paint a fence. So for Nick, his rate for 1 hour is going to be the same. 1/4 of a fence. So that means that if they work together for an hour, 1/4 and another 1/4 of the fence will be painted. That's 2/4 in an hour. See if you can figure out how long it would take them to paint half the fence. Moving on to number 3. If a giant carrot is enough to feed 8 children, how many giant carrots would you need for 20 children? Okay, so let's go look at my important information. A giant carrot can feed 8 children. The question is asking me, how many giant carrots would I need to feed 20? So 1 carrot for 8 kids. That tells me that 2 carrots would feed twice that amount, 16 kids. If I add another carrot on, 3 carrots, I'm going to go over 20 kids. And my answer needs to be how many carrots I would need for 20 children. I know the difference between 20 and 16 is 4. So what I'm wondering is, how much of a carrot does it take to feed 4 kids? If it takes 1 carrot to feed 8 kids, how much of that carrot would it take to feed 4 kids? Once I can figure that out, I could add it on to my 2 carrots. Give it a try. Number 4. If it takes a turtle a half hour to walk 100 meters, how long will it take the turtle to walk 1 kilometer? Oh, that's a good math word that you maybe haven't heard before. Let's go back and look at our important information. The turtle walks, let's see, it takes a half hour to walk 100 meters. My question is asking how long it will take him to walk a kilometer. Now, Einstein is going to provide us a little hint about kilometers. Let's see what he says. Einstein says, did you know that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer? That's pretty important. It kind of reminds me when he told us there are 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So 1 meter equals, oh, sorry, let me fix that. 1 kilometer, and km is our abbreviation for kilometer, equals 1,000 meters. And m is our abbreviation for meters. So it takes him a half hour to walk 100 meters. So a half hour to go 100 meters. How long will it take him to go a full kilometer? Well, how many 100-meter segments are there in a kilometer? If a kilometer is 1,000 meters, there would be 10 100-meter segments. And if each of those takes a half hour, how long would that take altogether? Let's look at number 5. If 4 people need a total of 8 pounds of food for a 1-week hike, how many pounds of food would 3 people need for a 1-week hike? Oof. Let's look at our important information. So I have 4 people needing 8 pounds to go hike for a week. My question is asking me, how many pounds of food would 3 people need in that same amount of time, 1 week? So 4 people need 8 pounds. 3 people need. One thing you can do is to look at the relationship between 4 to 8. What do you notice about those 2 numbers? You could apply that same relationship down below. So 3 people would need how many pounds?